I was watching anime like I do most days when I realized, hey, I almost missed my appointment for retail therapy. Time to expand my collection. Gonna hit up my dealers to flatten my wallet. Unfortunately, my new hyperfixation had no official figure.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
I spent a lot of time on this model, but I didn't really get the opportunity to record any of it, so please just enjoy the finished model.
Hello.
For context, this is Mao-chan. She's from an anime called Endro. Endro is a comfy, cute anime about cute girls doing D&D things. There you go. Now you're up to speed. So now I've got this little figure. But that wasn't enough. I wanted to go bigger. A lot bigger. But once I had the final figure in hand, I came to the terrible realization, oh no, now I have to paint it. Not that I don't like painting it, I just really didn't want to use my airbrush. But despite that, I started blocking in a bunch of colors and using my airbrush until eventually I got frustrated. So I decided to put my airbrush down and come back to it when I was a little less frustrated. Look, listen, I'm not super proud of myself, but I think past me really encapsulates how I feel. Yes, it would probably look better with an airbrush, but you know what I'm not going to do? That, because I don't feel like it. I don't want to use an airbrush right now. I don't want to do all the setup, I don't want to do all the cleanup, and that's perfectly fine. This is just for me, it's not a professional job. And you know what's better than, like, doing something perfectly? Actually finish something. And it took me an entire year to come to that realization. But you know what? Once I did, it actually became a lot more fun. I started full speed knocking out parts. I even had to repaint other parts that were airbrushed. But you know what? It's fine. I actually enjoyed it. It debatably looked way better. I don't need no stinking airbrush to get my work done. That looks pretty good. This was a good brush choice. So nice. Have you noticed my fancy pinky? So satisfying. And my brush is pretty soggy. I dare say it's wet. Nice. Well, that was fun until it wasn't. You gotta understand, I've got these two wolves inside of me. One wants everything to be as perfect as possible, and the other one just wants it to get done. And they're at constant war with each other. And because of this, they make me do and say things that contradict each other, like this. Now, I could have taped it all off, but did I want to tape it off? Absolutely not. I'll just get good and paint a straight line. So, as desperately as I didn't want to, I didn't have the paint pen that I thought I had, so I had to take this off so I can make these perfect little lines, because these lines have to be perfect or else I'm going to lose my mind. It's better to just pick a color from a bottle. Yeah, and it's totally fine if it's not a perfect match. So I have to repaint the entire thing, and I mixed it right here. I'm just gonna clean up the edges on this guy right here, using the same color I used on the bodice. So what a great way to save on time and paint. And like I said, it's pretty much the same. Okay, so that's not the color I want at all. And you know what adds just a little more salt to my Cheerios? It's that doing some of this extra stuff didn't always work out the way I wanted it to. So, you see me going in like this, just kind of like dabbing up the edges with kind of like a dry-ish brush. I'm doing that because I'm trying to avoid accidentally leaking underneath the tape. I hate that. Really press this tape down, but just to be extra cautious. Oh, Jesus. That's awful. Okay, I'm gonna try and clean that up really quick. That's okay. I wish it was nicer, but that's okay. Let's look at something nice now. So I'm gonna try and clean up this, like, jagged edge right here. This teeny tiny brush. A very lightly soggy brush. Hope the caffeine has gotten to the jiggle in my hand.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
That's pretty clean. Nice. And that's when I thought things were going to start looking up for me. But that doesn't make for an exciting video, does it? So I did something incredible off camera. I started over. Yeah, I sprayed primer back over this, and I decided to do the lights too, and I taped them off. Oh, and look at this. I also got the arms too. As you may have noticed, I was pretty upset with myself for doing that. Ultimately, it was probably for the best. Probably. But now, we're gonna get into the good stuff. This is where the magic happens.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
I still proceeded with extreme caution. I was gonna take off the paper and the tape, but like something in my giblies is telling me not to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. It's probably because, you know, earlier I may have dropped it. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that on for now. I don't think it needs to come off, so. Yeah, there's no reason to jump the gun and accidentally hit or break or drop something again. Okay, so I've got some solid legs now, some nice solid feet. So she stands great. They're never coming off, but that's okay. Did not just kick the face. I'm about to go in for the eyes, and I'm both very excited and absolutely terrified to do this. Because, you know, this is where the magic happens. But at the same time, my hands were vibrating like something that vibrates a lot. And I'm happy that it went relatively smoothly. It's not too bad. But now, I gotta do the other one. And it's always the other one that's the problem, right? Please don't say things like that past me. So I mention this a lot to myself while I'm painting. It's okay to mess up because it's just paint. You can just paint it again. I was extra nervous with painting these eyes, not because the eyes themselves, but because of the skin tone around it. I used a fancy new paint that I hadn't used before called Tamiya, which I love the Tamiya brand. I've used it before, but I hadn't specifically used this paint. And I think it's really great for skin tone. It's what it's supposed to be used for. But I didn't realize it wasn't going to get along with my cheap craft paint, and I kind of had to force it to mix together. Anyway, I didn't want to have to struggle to remix this color, which was why I was trying to be extra cautious. It's pretty good. I'd say they're pretty even. But not even enough, so I fixed them off camera. I cleaned up the eyes a little bit. I feel like I made them a little more even and I made them a little cleaner. And now it was time for those perfect anime blushy cheeks. So I basically used this little puddle of paint water to make an outline of what I wanted. And then I just filled it in. If you're interested in how I did this paint job, I'm going to be releasing an extended version of this paint session, and you can hear me talk about the various things that I did and techniques that I used. And this is what they look like dry. Watching the color come together in these eyes is pretty satisfying, so I'm going to try and let you guys enjoy that. You guys may have noticed this little paint palette I have right next to me. Basically, these eyes are 3 different shades of the same green. So I just mixed a little bit of black into the darker shade and a little bit of white into the lighter shade. And I have them all mixed up on the palette at the same time. I find it a little bit easier, and it's something I usually do when I'm doing a gradient. So I added a little more color to it. I think it looks really, really nice. They look so pretty. God, I'm just admiring how beautiful it is. It's so nice. This is the reason I do this. Prepare to fall back down that hill. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brown micron and I'm going to go around the outside of the pupil. That's kind of what I did for, you could see it on the like bottom edge of the pupil and like the edges of the outside of the eyes.
Nope.
I'm just kind of taking the paint off. Ooh, but it was dry, I swear. It's okay to make tiny mistakes, I will fix it. Like Bob Ross says, happy accidents. Happy accidents. I don't know who's happy about them, but they're happy accidents. Cleaned up those eyes. They look really good, pretty good. Look alright. I'm gonna do one of my favorite parts, which is putting in the whites of the eyes, and I'm just gonna put a little straight up just boop, the dot on there. That'll be great. That'll be awesome.
Nope.
I don't feel like this brush is round enough. Look at how not round that is. Okay, so I grabbed a smaller brush. I like it. I like it a lot. So this part I'm really concerned about because it is really super thin and I've already broken it before. You can kind of see it right there. Look at that. Nice. So I glue a bunch of the parts together on this figure because as far as I'm concerned, it's never coming apart again. That was a terrible crack. I did not like the sound of that. It sounded really bad. Not as bad as I thought. It just kind of like lifted there.
Huh?
Honestly, that part really did just lift. I knew that part was already broken. I actually broke it myself off screen because I knew it was going to break. And if it was going to break, it was going to break on my terms. So I'm closing in on the end, really exciting. I just want to put a couple of dots across her hair and then maybe put like a little bit of color in this ear. Yeah, that's fine. It's never been, God, my hand has never been shakier. A lot easier if I had done this before I put the head on. But I didn't do that. Honestly, it should just be a confident like swoop, but I am currently not that confident. So I've got these little tiny straps that I almost forgot about that I'm going to brush really sloppily and quickly. Yeah, that first one took so little time, I might as well just record it and not time lapse it, so. Oh, no. This one's the one that's gonna struggle. Come here. Yeah, here. Come on, get it. Beautiful. So perfectly executed. Yes. Amazing. Next step is to put these teeny tiny straps on here. I have these tweezers just for this and I just painstakingly put them on there to see how they're going to fit. I gotta glue these on here somehow. That's about where they want to lay. Come on. So I think I'm gonna go like right there where it's just barely touching the top of that bodice. And then on the other side, then here it's just like,
Are you sure about that?
Not touching it. But like, I need it to touch something. Stop it. Stop it, both of you. Okay, so come on. No. This is not what we talked about. Stop it. I'm practicing so that when I put glue on it, it could be like easy, professional. Nothing professional about this. Come on. I think that's the money. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. Here we go. Come here. I just want... Oh my god, do not be all streaky. Okay. Stop it. It's not exactly what we talked about. Come on.
Nope.
Don't do that. Okay. 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 Come on. The exact thing we were just doing. Okay. You know what? It is what it is. I'm not super stoked about that. It's not really what I wanted. You bastard.
Stop it. Get some help.
Bye, have a great time.
Actually, yes. According to plan. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop sticking. I don't really think there's any glue on that. Nope. Don't make me regret this, please. Just stringy little bit. There is more than enough glue on that. I can see it. Again, it is what it is. So I have some of this Tamiya. Tamiya putty, right? Tamiya. I'm gonna try and cover this gap right here. Because I think it's dry. Put like a little bit of pressure on. As if whispering is going to help me. Okay, so the other side worked out pretty well. So I'm gonna try and do it right here. You know, it's not super pretty. You can even still see it right now. It's so tiny, I think I could just fill it in with like some paint and you really won't see it. Okay, so both of these look kind of janky right now, but it's okay. It's totally okay. I'm going to, I'm just gonna brush a little bit of paint over it and see what happens. That is honestly not bad. Like, considering how gunked up it looked just a second ago, all I did was apply just an astronomical amount of paint. Like, that's pretty decent. And last but not least, we gotta put these wings on. Really had to make sure these bad boys were glued in here tight. And like I said, she's never coming apart. Get ready for those glamour shots. She stands at a full 10.5 inches tall and 9 inches wide. She took roughly 4 to 5 hours to paint. And she's almost exactly a 1/5 scale. All in all, I'm extremely happy to have her done and on my shelf. And the pictures and videos really don't do her justice. Don't pay attention to the base. The base is my next project. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye bye.